I have a confession to make.
What do I look like, a priest?
Hello everyone, this is Champion Man 90. Ugh! Damn it, I can't see a thing in this.
I've been recently diagnosed with a critical yet common condition among men known as mansplaining.
Social justice warriors in the Bronx. Right, I've heard it all now.
So, what is mansplaining?
Oh, I know, teacher, I know. It's a bullshit concept designed to silence men and to design some kind of reason for feminism to exist in the modern world.
Well, it's a condition that affects many men who believe that it is our natural born right to talk over, interrupt, and especially explain things to women on topics that affect women, are predominantly about women, and that they're probably experts on in the first place.
Wrong.
No, essay. I'm sorry, but that's not quite what it means. That's what you guys think it means. You think it's about guys who believe they have some inane right to talk over people, interrupt people over issues that they apparently don't know much about compared to a woman. See, this is kind of stupid because in order for this to work, you have to assume that the women are experts in their field and that they know more than the man just because they happen to be women. But it falls flat on its face because there's a lot of men who know more about feminism and women's issues than even some women. Just like there's some women who know about men's issues more than men. Like, Karen Strawn is an MRA, or maybe more of an advocate than an actual MRA. I know that she's a anti-feminist first, MRA second, but she knows a hell of a lot more than I do. And I'm a guy, but I don't say she's woman-splaining about my issues at all, do I? Because I know that she knows better than me about these issues, and I'd rather have her debating for me than you, or myself even, you know? So that's not what mansplaining is. And freedom of speech dictates that I can interrupt people, talk over people, and do all these things that you mentioned. Because, hey, that's my right. It's rude, it's obnoxious, but I can do so. If I think someone's wrong, I can interrupt them and say, actually, this and this is wrong. That is not mansplaining, which doesn't exist anyway. It's just some people are being arseholes, or some people are being overly know-it-all, but by and large, it's not that bad a thing, okay? Let's get that out the way. But, oh well. Carry on, essay.
And that's condescending.
That's how you feel. It ain't always condescending. Sometimes a man is accused of mansplaining just by saying something to a woman. Like, oh yeah, blah 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 blah. Rah rah rah! Mansplaining! It's all how you feel at the end of the day. This is all it's about, people. Mansplaining is all about feels and censorship.
A recent example of this was Matt Damon, who interrupted a woman of color by the name of Effie Brown, who is a black woman filmmaker, to explain diversity to her.
Oh, shock! Horror! A white person speaking in a multicultural country known as America, who probably is also related to immigrants of some kind. You don't know because it's America. Interrupted a black woman to talk about diversity. It's because he's white. What would he know about diversity? Well, he lives in a diverse country for a start, so of course I think he'd know a thing or two about diversity. Maybe from his own perspective. See, what is it with these racist minorities that I always come across who are social justice warriors? As if, they always talk about, oh, we mustn't deny people's lived experiences if they're trans, gay, mixed race, blue, green, Martian. You see what I did there? It doesn't matter who they are. We unless they're white, we will not deny their lived experiences. Yet every time a white person speaks about their lived experiences in a diverse culture, talk about their perspective on things, you either have this guy berating him and calling him a mansplainer for discussing his perspective of diversity to a woman in a debate where he is allowed to discuss these issues anyway, and he is allowed to have an opinion on this. Even just because he's white doesn't mean that him talking about diversity is less than the black person. I'm sorry, but just because she's black doesn't mean she's diverse. Go to fucking Africa, where most of the continent is black. Go in, especially in Central Africa, and then tell me they're diverse. Places like South Africa are diverse. Places like Zimbabwe and Algeria, etc., etc. All those areas are diverse, but there are some countries that are not diverse at all. You don't know anything about diversity. What would you know? If you think that just being not white means that you know more about diversity than the white person, you don't know shit compared to them. This is not mansplaining, although you'll probably say it's white-splaining or something. But shock horror, the thought of a white man, Matt Damon, one of the smartest guys in Hollywood, interrupting. He should know his place. Know your place, Matt Damon. Know your place. The cheek of these posh bastards. That was a poor attempt at a joke, you fucking idiot. Seriously, is this all you have? Is this literally all you have?
Right. Matt Damon explained diversity and how it works to the only black woman of color filmmaker in a room full of white filmmakers.
This is completely alien to you, the idea that a white person knows what diversity is. Just see, this is the problem with you people. You always view things about people's race, you judge everything on race, and it's like, apparently we're the racist people for being colorblind. It's just like, what the fuck? Maybe he had to explain it to her because she didn't know what it actually means. Maybe she truly didn't know. I've not actually seen the footage of him interrupting her, but I'm sorry, he may be a pleb that doesn't know his place, but fuck me. You guys are incompetent.
And that's condescending.
Was it being condescending? He's explaining a concept to her. That is not fucking condescending. Matt Damon condescending? Seriously? That again is all your feels. You think he's being condescending. You feel as if it's condescending just because he's white. Not because he's Matt Damon. Not because of his knowledge. Not because of anything else. It's because of his skin colour. Do you not know how racist that actually is? You fucking idiot.
See, so Matt Damon wasn't only mansplaining. In this case, he was also white-splaining.
Fucking please, Snowball! Ah! Why can't you save me from these idiots? Why? Why? Why do I have to hear this bullshit every day? Every day. I hear this shit. I hear this shit every time. He's not just mansplaining, he's also white-splaining. Oh, get your jazz hands out, everyone. Fucking hell, applaud this guy. Oh no, wait, that's triggering. Oh my god. You see, apparently I'm the racist for saying that doesn't exist and it's a load of bullshit and it's just there to censor him. Stop white-splaining. Oh, sorry. What is it then? Why do these bullshit terms exist, you fucking muppets? And no comment section. Do not try and tell me what it is. I know why they exist. I am being rhetorical.
Which is very similar to mansplaining in that you take the gender in one and replace it for the race in the other.
Ah! Fuck this guy. This guy's a retard. This guy is lost. This guy should not be allowed to breed because he is so dumb. I hate using eugenics, but god damn it, this guy should not breed. God forbid anybody who grows up with this guy as their dad. Do not white-splain, essay. Do not mansplain to me, essay. Don't mansplain to that woman, essay. He's like, what the fuck, man? What are you doing? White-splaining, mansplaining? You are not just a sexist, but you're also a racist. One, you seem to think that women should be protected from men interrupting them. You know, like, we need this concept of mansplaining to help women deal with pestering, idiotic guys who like to interrupt people when they're talking. Which, by the way, I've done so many times, so therefore I'm obviously a horrible, sexist shitlord, aren't I? And then not only that, white-splaining. We have to stop white people talking about issues that actually affects them too. Diversity is diversity. White, black, Latino such as yourself, mixed race such as myself. We're all part of that. It's not white people and everyone else is there. That's not diversity. Diversity is like this, not like this. Do you see what I'm trying to say to you, SJWs? No? Right, fuck it. Right, next.
Whitesplaining is when a white person tries to interrupt and lecture a person of color on a topic that specifically affects people of color.
What are you talking about? Not every issue affects people who aren't white. Your issues aren't the same as my issues. We live in two completely different countries for a start. You obviously must live in America. I live in the UK. I have completely different issues to you. Hell, Asian people are far more successful in the UK. Well, I don't know if it's in the UK, but I know in America they are the most successful group because of their culture. They don't have half the problems as, say, African Americans and Latinos do. So, what? You're wrong there. See, this is part of the whole collectivist bullshit that you social justice warriors do. Everybody who is a person of colour is fucking got the same problems. We've all got the same problems, and we're not going to fix these problems, and white people can't talk about these problems, even if the white person is very interested in helping these problems, because maybe they might help white people's problems too, because, you know, poverty, racism, sexism, etc., it affects everyone. No matter how much, it could be very little to very big, but it affects everyone. And we should deal with everyone's problems in an equal manner. But no, this whole white-splaining bullshit basically means that these people's problems are pushed way higher up, and this guy's pushed real high, pushed lower. And then also it's basically stopping people from discussing things. Censorship people. White-splaining, mansplaining, it's stopping these groups of people from discussing topics that social justice warriors don't want them talking about. What else can it be? What else can it be apart from shaming language?
Anyhow, returning to mansplaining.
Thank you. You went off topic, you moron.
Men with this condition feel that our opinions matter so much that they have to be heard, even if it's on subjects that we don't have a damn clue what we're talking about.
Is this just the next step towards subjugation by social justice warriors? That mansplaining is not a phenomenon, it's now a condition that you suffer from, that you are afflicted by. How does he know that we don't know what we're talking about? The whole point of mansplaining is that you don't know what you're talking about to someone who might know what they're talking about based entirely on their race and gender, etc. It's like, how do you know? Matt Damon certainly wasn't mansplaining. It's Matt Damon. But never mind.
Or on life experiences that we as guys could never really experience.
So fucking what? The honey badgers could never experience life as a man. Yet they are still MRAs and they still care very deeply about men's issues. You do not have to be one thing in order to talk about it and know an awful lot about it. I learnt about American history throughout my life and in university. I'm not American, yet I still probably know more than you do because I have the degree and you do not. But hey, that's just me asserting without evidence, like you have been doing in this entire video.
Now I know what you must be thinking. How does someone even develop this condition?
It's not a fucking condition. It doesn't exist.
Well, odds are if you were born a guy, you probably have traces of this condition in your system, and that's a result of social condition.
Oh really? I've been socially conditioned to interrupt people. I'm sorry, but just because I interrupt people, just because I talk about things that I might not know about, or that I do know about but you think I don't know about because of my gender, I therefore must be so socially conditioned and I'm born with an ailment. It's fucking original sin. It's the sins of the father. This is some religious bullshit right here. Fuck, they're right. Feminism truly is a fucking religion. Mansplaining is now original sin. Incredible. And whitesplaining too, if you happen to be white. You have like double fucking sin if you're white and male, which, you know, for some reason they irrationally hate these people because they assume that white people have always been like the main powerful people in the world, even though technically they haven't. I mean, it wasn't very long ago, historically speaking, of course, I'm thinking a couple of centuries, that was the Ottomans that were the biggest. And they're not white, at least most of them are not white. And then next thing you know, before that, it was the Mongols and the Arabs and the Persians. Like, white people have only had intermittent successes, like Romans were dominant, but even then they had China. China's always been there. When it's not been very strong, it's never ever been conquered. And now they are fast becoming the biggest and most successful country on earth. They will be the next superpower if they're not already. So But nuance and facts, they get in the way of the agenda, so we must move on.
Social conditioning is a process of training people in society to respond in a manner that is generally approved by the society at large.
Why do you have this propensity to fucking explain everything? As if we're just people who have never heard of these things before. We know what it means. We know what it fucking means. If you want to explain things, put it in the description. Like, here's a link to the dictionary definitions. Oh, yeah, dictionary definitions. You love your definitions. What the why do you do this? And so what if social engineering apparently does all this bullshit? So what? Doesn't make men mansplain. Mansplaining doesn't exist. I've already said. And so what if we have been just basically doing normal conversation stuff like interrupting and talking about shit you don't know? How is that socially engineered anyway? Humans have been doing that since time immemorial. I think you'll find it's not social fucking engineering, it's humans being humans, because women do the same. Are they womansplaining? Well, no, of course not, because they're infallible.
Think about a toddler that is crying and eventually gets what he or she wants. If this behavior is always rewarded, well, now the toddler knows and is conditioned to cry whenever he or she wants something.
You just compared toddlers to fucking animals. Animals are conditioned to get things based on commands and treats. Toddlers can talk. Toddlers may have tantrums and cry, but by and large they can communicate what they want to adults and to other people of similar ages or older. Doesn't matter. Babies cry because they don't know how to talk. So if they cry, so they can tell their mother and father what they want. They cry when they poo. They cry when they want to eat. They cry when they want a drink. That's why they cry. They're not socially conditioned to cry. That is an evolutionary side effect of our species' evolution over the years. Babies cry. Mother and father responds to their needs. That's it. There is no social engineering involved. You are clueless. You are an idiot.
Those same rules apply to society at large. We as humans are rewarded or punished depending on our behavior.
But we're not like other animals. You have oversimplified everything to basically say that this is why mansplaining is a thing and why we have to deal with it. It's not a condition, man. It does not exist. It's a form of censorship.
So basically men are the toddlers in this situation.
No, that's not even scientifically true. What the fuck? Men do not do that. Men are not like that at all. How can you say that as a man? It's well known psychologically that girls' cries are responded to more by their parents and their boys. Boys learn very early on in their lives, they can't even remember this shit, that their cries will not be heard as much as a girl's. Their twin sister could cry first. No, they could cry first, and then the girl will cry, she'll cry louder, and then the parents will go to the girl first and the boy second. That's probably because of evolutionary survival, and it's not really the fault of our species that we do that. But that's what happens. Boys are not taught to be entitled and to expect to be given everything on a silver plate. Boys are expected, well, men especially, boys and men are expected to work for what they get, to earn what they get. That's how you become a man. That's the whole point of being a man in this world. Boys are not given things on a silver plate. Even the richest cunt in the world who's male doesn't get it for free compared to women. Women are given everything. Women are entitled. I'm not saying this as sexist. It's just true. It's true. Women are given everything from birth till death. Men have to constantly work for it. How can you not understand that as a man? These people have been brainwashed. But they're betas, so it kind of makes sense.
And unfortunately, based on historical context, men are more often rewarded in society and encouraged to continue our behavior of taking up space, interrupting, and explaining things to women.
There is so much wrong in that statement, I don't even know where to begin. Firstly, citation needed. Where was it historically that men expected to be given everything and were given everything? That is not true. What can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. That is insane. That is insane talk. You are literally just spouting the social engineering that you received from the social justice warriors. All this is just fucking projection. As usual, it's always projection. Sargon's Law, people.
Writer Soraya Chimali has a simple explanation for this. She said, and I quote, "This is good old-fashioned sexism expressed in genderized socialization and a default cultural preference for institutionalized male domination of public life."
That doesn't even mean anything. What does that mean? That is nothing but a sentence meant to demonize men for whatever reason other than the fact that men happen to be dominant in public life because they choose to take those career paths. How the hell is mansplaining and taking up space, manspreading, demonizing and attacking and oppressing women? How? How is a simple act of communicating with someone oppressing them? Please, you have yet to actually explain anything here, mate. And notice that the key word is male, as Dr. Randall McCann said. This is nothing but hate. This is just propaganda. This guy is an idiot. There's nothing more I can say, really.
Which is why guys feel entitled to take over a conversation and start talking about a subject that we have no damn clue what we're talking about.
I'm sorry, but who is we? I know what I'm talking about. You do not know what you are talking about. You do not talk for all of men, just like how I don't talk for all women. Even though, I'm not actually talking for women. I'm talking for men, sadly. I'm having to defend us all. I'm speaking for us in order to defend ourselves from fucking ideological cretins like you. Again, you keep repeating the same things like, we don't know what we're talking about. How the hell do you not know what we're talking about, you fucking idiot? You're assuming things. In order for your argument to work, none of us men know what we're talking about. How do you know we don't know what we're talking about? You can't read our minds. It's just wrong think. It's just, oh, mansplaining. He doesn't know what he's talking about because he's a man, because he's talking about feminism. I know what I'm talking about. You don't. Stop projecting.
Or on topics that we as men could never even experience.
Why are you so dumb? There are doctors who perform on stuff that they could possibly never experience. We don't attack them for mansplaining. Again, I'm going to mention the honey badgers. They can't possibly experience what it's like to be a man. Yet they are MRAs. Just like how you are a feminist and you could possibly never experience what being a woman is like. That is not something to dismiss someone for. Just because you can't experience it does not mean you do not know an awful lot about it. You could know more about that shit than somebody else. This is retarded logic.
So now I know what you must be thinking. Okay, but is there a cure to this condition?
It's not a condition. I will bash you.
The good news is, if you're still watching this video, you now know what mansplaining is.
I already knew. You clearly knew. I think most of us knew what mansplaining was because you feminists go on and on non-stop about it. See, you assume ignorance of your audience because that's what you guys prey upon.
And once you know something, you can't unknow it. It's just the way the brain works.
Amnesia, fuckface.
Basically, as guys, we have to dig deep and really think to ourselves, do we know what we're talking about?
Yes, we know what we're talking about. And you're not going to stop us from talking about things that you don't like us talking about. You're not going to censor us, you...
Because if we don't, shut up. Simple as that.
Shut up, plebs, shut up. Because it's not your place to interrupt when a woman is speaking. Or be silent because a white, privileged, upper-class woman is talking. And she can't be having all you pleb men talking and interrupting her. The woman has to speak. The woman is the best. The woman is the goddess. You are all just nothing but stupid mortals. And also, please, do not make any dissenting opinions, otherwise you will be labelled as a mansplainer and as a misogynist, and you will be silenced and taken to the gulag.
I've been prescribed a medication known as Check Yourself.
Otherwise known as censor yourself, men.
I take my daily dose, and I suggest you do the same. Just to let you know, side effects may include salty feelings towards women, but you'll get over it. You'll live.
Oh, so it'll make you hate women for a little bit, but you'll get over it. This is how you become a good feminist drone. This is how you become a beta male. You'll lose all the stuff that could possibly make you attractive, but in the end, you will lose everything. You will be salty, but then you'll get over it. Like, yeah, this is my life. It's all for the greater good. But anyway, enough of this bloody bastard anyway. Mansplaining doesn't exist. It's not a condition. You're fine, guys. They're just trying to censor you. Oh, so until next time, I'll see you later.